This is the podcast overview for Module 5. We'll be covering Chapter 9, Prosocial Behavior, and Chapter 10, Aggression. So here is the to-do list for this module, and as you can see all the way down here at the bottom, I've got an extra credit opportunity. This is a chance for you to gain a few extra points, and the assignment is posted below under extra credit, so we'll get to that in a minute. Here are the chapter objectives for Chapter 9 as well as Chapter 10. And so these two chapters are actually kind of opposite, but they also go nicely together. So in Chapter 9, we're talking about prosocial behavior, which is pretty much like acts that are benevolent towards another person, meant to help someone else. So helping behavior. And not necessarily with the benefit of anything in return, sometimes even at a risk for helping. Whereas aggression is the opposite. It's understanding all of the motivations and theories as to why we have aggression, how we exhibit aggression, how we use it, how it is seen culturally, and the various factors that are associated with it. So these two go really nicely together. These are the extra readings that go with the chapters, so Article 28 and Article 31. You'll need those to integrate into the discussion board posting for this week. Your lecture slides for each lecture, chapter, and then we have all of the videos. So a lot of these are really short. This is a short one, there's no sound on it, about conformity but also helping behavior. This is one on the bystander effect. Talks a little bit about the Kitty Genovese case, which is mentioned in your text. This is a mock child abduction where you get to see the bystander effect in action in a real scenario, kind of like a what would you do. And then I have a video on empathy, which transitions us into the area of prosocial behavior and altruism. Altruistic acts involve empathy. I have a crash course on aggression versus altruism, kind of pointing out all the key traits and characteristics of each. A Khan Academy video on altruism. And this is a really good TED Talk by Abigail Marsh on why some people seem to be more altruistic than others. Is it a trait? Is it a personality? Can we learn to be altruistic? She kind of speaks to all of that. And then a Khan Academy video on aggression. This is a short on 4 types of aggression. This is a what would you do taking on mean girls. See how people react there in a bullying situation. And here is a video on modeling behavior. And then this is the only long video that you have, and it's really not that long, it's 29 minutes. It's called America the Rude. It takes a look at decorum in America. Where are we today in terms of civility towards one another? So it's a really good one as well. Okay, and then the next thing is you'll be ready to do the discussion. So after you've read the chapters and the articles and watched all the videos, now you can start to integrate all of what you learned into your responses for these questions. So question number 1, on a personal level, reflect on when you've helped someone, not necessarily in a volunteering situation. Why did you do it? Do you agree with Batson's position from the article reading that true altruism exists, such that our only goal is to increase another person's welfare? Or do you agree more with Cialdini's position that we help others mainly because doing so makes us feel better about ourselves? I want you to discuss your reasoning here. So, draw upon the article. Article 28 is going to be applicable there. And draw on the text chapter and the principles and concepts that are talked about in regards to helping behavior. Then number 2, the article discusses the role of women throughout history in acts of violence. Based on the reading and the reading of chapter 10, so that's the Article 31 and then chapter 10, do you feel that aggression is biological, stems from drive reduction, the frustration aggression hypothesis, or is socially learned? So there's 3 viewpoints there, that it's either biological, it results from the frustration aggression hypothesis, so you got to be familiar with that, or it's socially learned. Support your view with evidence from the readings, whichever you choose. And then Article 31 also states that women who commit the same aggressive acts as men may be less likely to be sentenced in the court of law. So what factors other than the actual crime that they commit might influence sentencing decisions? How are we biased there in equality of judgment based on aggressive actions? And then lastly, number 3, hypothesize using some of what you've learned from chapter 9 and the video on empathy by Brene Brown as to the role that electronic media are playing in bystander intervention and people's level of empathy. So we are in an electronic age where we are pretty much consumed by our devices. How is that affecting, 1, people's ability to empathize with others, and 2, whether or not we help other people? You know, what we do when we see something happening or we notice someone hurting. How do we intervene? And how do you think that electronic media are playing a role in that? So again, just make sure that you fully support all of your answers and cite that support as you're writing about it. Okay, exam 5 is going to cover chapters 9 and 10, same format as usual. And then the extra credit assignment is here. It involves random acts of kindness. So I'm going to have you watch a short video clip, if you click here, of a girl who chose to do some random acts of kindness for her birthday. She did, I think, 21 different acts for her 21st birthday. You don't have to copy what she did, although she had some great ideas that you definitely could copy. But for this assignment, I want you to go about doing some random acts of kindness this coming week. You could do as many as you want, but what I'd like you to do is click on this extra credit link and tell me about what you did. Okay, so take the week. There's opportunity all around, if you think about it, to do random acts of kindness. Kind of needs to be something a little bit above and beyond, right? So holding the door open for someone is just common courtesy. I don't know if it's really a random act of kindness, maybe, but you know, it needs to go a little bit above that. Something you wouldn't normally do, something out of the norm of your daily, you know, routine. So whatever that is for you, be thinking about it before you approach, you know, your act. Give it some thought. Use the video as some inspiration to maybe what you might do. And then you're going to just tell me about it. You're going to post about it. Tell me, were you there to witness the person's reaction? How was that? You know, explain why it's so uncommon for people to do random acts of kindness. Why is that uncommon? Because I would not say, and the research does not support that that is a common thing, but it's so easy. So why is that? So after completing your act and telling me about what you did, discuss the ways in which we can step outside ourselves a little more often, express thanks and gratitude, and focus on others. What are some ways that we can do that? How can we make that more possible in our world today? That's the extra credit. It's worth 5 points. So I feel like that's a nice little boost there. And those points will get added onto your overall points at the end of the term and end up helping you out wherever you need it. That's it for this week and for this module. As you're working through the material again, just let me know if you have any questions. Thanks everyone, and I can't wait to see what random acts of kindness you do.